Hey there, here are some tips for your practice problems number 2. As you're going through these, you want to think about drawing a picture. So that's all I'm going to show you in the tips is what my picture would look like. And then below, you're going to kind of use that information to figure out your answers. So in the first one, Alexis made Valentine's Day candies with red and pink chocolate for the other students in her class. There were 4 heart candies for every 5 teddy bears. Now, you can draw and be as elaborate as you'd like to be here, but I'm just going to have 4. I'm going to use typically letters. So you have 4 hearts to 5 teddy bears. So when I draw out my ratio, that's going to give me 4 H's for hearts and 5 T's for teddy bears. And that's my diagram for my ratio. And from there, you can count hearts and teddies and total number of letters and be able to answer the questions that come below. Let's see. This month, number 2, this month, 3 out of 4 days were rainy. This time I'm going to draw boxes because that's another option if you don't like letters. And so I'm going to make a big box. And this says this month, 3 out of 4. So 3 out of the 4 total days were rainy. So that means I'm going to divide my box into 4 sections. And 3 of those are rainy days. And then this one is going to be not rainy. And then I can use that with my boxes to answer the questions below. So again, another option. If you want to stick with your R's and N's for rainy and not rainy, that's totally fine as well. Number 3, 2 out of every 3 kids at learning time is a boy. Here, forget all of the social constructs we've been working on with transgender students. We are just assuming that a child either identifies as male or female, so boy or girl. I know, limited, but we're going with it. 2 of every 3 kids at learning time is a boy. So that 2 of every 3. So I need 3 total kids and 2 are boys. So I have 2 boys. That third child is then going to be a girl. Okay, so that would be my picture that I'm then going to use to answer. And we've got another one. So consider each rectangle to represent a candy bar that is being shared between 2 people. For each candy bar, shade the candy bar so that it represents the way the candy bar is shared between the 2 people. Okay. So for part A, we have Alan ate 2/3 as much as Barry. When I set this up, I'm thinking about that ratio 2 to 3. And the first thing that's identified when the language looks like this is my top. So Alan is going to be my 2 and Barry is going to be my 3. So 2 is Alan and Barry is 3. So if Alan has 2 and Barry has 3, then my piece has 5 total pieces to it. So I'm going to divide this into 5 sections, and then 2 of them belong to Alan and 3 of them belong to Barry. And from there, I can go ahead and answer my questions. Okay. So that's when you're using the as much as language comparing 2 people. In number 5, the ratio of what Callum ate to what Danica ate is 3 to 2. So again, this corresponds. So my Callum is the first person. So he's going to be the first number there in the ratio, and Danica is my second person, so she's going to be that second value. So that means if Callum is 3 and Danica is 2, I have a total of, again, 5 pieces, and Callum gets 3 and Danica gets 2. Really, we're just looking at different ways to express the language here, and then you can answer your questions from there. Okay. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how you can represent your ratios with pictures, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and answer your questions from there. If you have more questions or you're not sure how I'm coming up with these, feel free to reach out and we can make sure you get all the answers you need.